Winning is all a matter of perspective. This is our review of Yamma.
Yamma is a Connect 4 game played with cubes that form connections from 3 different angles. And I had a lot of fun just doing this.
It's an easy to learn, enjoyable Connect 4 style game, and we'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play. Start! Yamma is played over a series of turns, with each player placing a cube on the main board.
The cubes can be played on any open spaces or onto any other piles of cubes.
Players are attempting to create a row of 4 squares, which can be formed from 3 different angles when viewing the main board.
When a player creates a row of 4 squares, they win, and the game ends.
We were sent a copy of Yamma from the publisher so that we could do this review video and an unboxing, which you can find in the description below.
If you'd like to find out more information or buy a copy of the game, check out the links in the description below.
I really enjoyed this game because of its simplicity. It's like that bar style game. It's a Connect 4 style game. You can play it almost anywhere as long as you have the table space. I like the Lazy Susan. So it is like Connect 4 where you're taking turns, drop a thing, drop a thing, drop a thing, try to get 4 in a row. Here you're placing it on the Lazy Susan, but you gotta look on all 3 different angles to see if you form one. Like for example, there's a row of 4 right there from this angle. So that would be a winning move if you had those 4. It's very easy to teach. We just taught you how to play it right there. It's Connect 4, get 4 in a row, play them anywhere, play them on top of each other, look at all 3 different angles. If you have a row of 4, you win. And that's the game. So lots of fun.
The first few times I played the game, I was sitting here trying to analyze like, okay, hold on. Like what's my angle that I gotta be? Like I know this is one way. Do I gotta be up here? And then you find that sweet spot. You're like, okay, I see it. And you flip here and you're like, wait, should still be the same, but still. So that part, I mean, it wasn't a learning curve, but still, we haven't seen this. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Do I gotta be at level with it? So, you're moving around a little bit. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. All right. It's not as perspective-y, like unique as I thought, but okay, boom. Right here.
There's no cheating the angle. Like you can't move up and suddenly be like, oh, there's 4 there.
There's 4, look at it. Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was kind of fun, just twirling these, like, okay, not winning yet, not winning. But I like the idea of like, okay, not winning here, but I am setting myself up a little bit over here and maybe here, so
it's a similar strategy with Connect 4. We got to set yourself up to win, like planning several moves in advance and try to trick your opponent to make it so that no matter what, you're going to win on your next turn. So you can play some chips over here, some chips over there and drop them down, and eventually you can go here or here like that. Same thing with this one. You're like, okay, well, I'm setting myself up here and I'm setting myself up here. So if they try to block me here, that'll actually make it so that I can win here. So instead of thinking of it in a 2-dimensional space, you have to think in a 3-dimensional space, but the same concept of, all right, I want to set it up so that no matter what, I can win from all 3 different angles or even just 2 angles depending on where they drop it. And it's tricky because on the cubes that you're playing, there's 3 white and 3 blue. So as you're placing it down, you're like, okay, well, if I place it here, what does that do with the angle over here? What does that do to the angle over there? And sometimes you'll be playing and that's when the player will realize like, okay, I'm gonna block you here. And then they turn it and they're like, And then they try to rotate it in a way and you're like, it's not gonna work, I'm gonna win. And so that becomes the end of the game. And when they realize, and you're like, And so you're like, yes, I won.
So one thing that kind of bugged me is, yeah, I'll put a piece down, but obviously there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of spots here, and I need to be able to see all 3. I gotta leave my hand on because while it's still on, I can still adjust and everything. So it kind of got in the way a little bit when I'm trying to view here, and then now I gotta view it here and here, and see, that happens. And I gotta view it here to make sure I'm not like giving him the win or anything. So I get it. Like obviously if you take it off and you're like, do, wait a minute, which one did I put down? But so it's a good idea to do this, but still I'm like, get out of the way, hand, just so that I can see like where all my options are or if I'm winning or losing. So to me, it's almost like we're playing 3 games of Connect 4, right? You put one down and then look at it at 3 different angles. It's like you're looking at 3 different Connect 4 boards or chess boards or something. So I like that because, we're more games in one game.
I really like the different perspectives, 'cause I just think it's interesting when you're playing a game that has simple rules like a Connect 4 style game, but then you have to think about it in multiple layers. And this, in terms of this game, it's multiple perspectives. You're like, all right, what's this one? What's this one? Like, for example, on this one, blue's winning on that side and blue's winning on that side. So blue's winning twice on that. So I like that you have to think about it. It's not just, oh, drop this here, drop this here. It's a fun, quick game that you can play, but it has many, many layers to think about. What did you not like about this game?
So because I haven't really flexed this muscle, like my 3D spatial reasoning and like cubes dropping and like kind of predicting patterns and stuff and of how this builds up, like I'm not there in that predictive sense. So it was hard to me to think too far ahead or plan like too much ahead in terms of, oh yeah, I'm really setting myself up now. Sometimes it was just I don't think it lets you win, so maybe it helps me, but maybe it's helping me at some point. So I'll just put one right there for now.
The thing that I didn't really like about this game is that I do see some limitations of when you'd be able to play it because of how you have to think about it. Because when you're playing it normally, you're already like, okay, here. It takes a while to really, all right, he's not winning anywhere, but am I setting myself up? Will that set him up? You got to think about so much stuff. Whereas in Connect 4, it's just kind of like, drop. So it can easily be played. Now this is easy to play, but to master it will take a while. So that's why I think anybody, any age can play this game. But if you're targeting like a beer crowd, like those giant Connect 4s or those giant Jengas, there's not a whole lot of thinking with that. You can get a little tipsy, a little bit too many drinks and still play Connect 4, still play Jenga. I feel like after a couple of drinks of this game, you'd be like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel like you lose attention spans pretty quickly.
Overall, I'd play this again. It's just a newer Connect 4, and that'll probably be my tagline when I bring it up. I'm like, hey guys, you like Connect 4? Let's try this. And then everyone else can watch us play. I'm sure that'll be a fun party, right? Like, whoa, go
everyone watch two people play a game, yeah.
I like this spinning motion. It's going to be a new thing to introduce to other people too, and maybe we can modify it.
Overall, I would definitely play this game again. I do think it has that novelty factor of when you first take it out, everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's so cool. And everyone will want to play it a little bit, just like when you go to a bar and you see the giant Connect 4, the giant Jenga, everyone, oh, yeah, let's go play that. It's like this one, you take it out of the party, everyone, oh, it's cool. I do think that it's more fun the first few times you play it, because as you start to master it, then I feel like it loses some of that fun factor and becomes more of that abstract strategy game of when it's like serious players. And if you're playing this as a serious game and someone else just wants to kind of have fun with it, they'll be like, hurry up already. So I do feel like you got to find that right balance. I think a lot of people will have fun with it, but I think it's got to be played in the right circumstances and don't take it too seriously. And that was our review of Yamma.
What'd you think? Is this a good connection for your game night? Let us know in the comments below.
And as always, if you're enjoying our content, please like this video, subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny, and go party like a board gamer.